The Personal Branding Summit 2025, The Rise of AI 2. Welcome to the 5th edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding, The Rise of AI 2. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, The Rise of AI 2. AI is not just the future, AI is the now. Across every corner of the globe, nations like Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, the USA are seizing its power, transforming industries and revolutionizing our way of life. Africa will not be left behind. We are rising. Welcome to Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding with the theme, The Rise of AI 2. Speaking, Otombo Vincent, Paco Mushaga, Harriet Mugisa, Ayeli Wura Okumbola, George Ta, Emeka Ebeniro. Date, February 26 and 27. Time, 6 p.m. GMT. To register, visit pbsglobal.xyz. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, The Rise of AI 2. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, The Rise of AI 2.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 5th edition of the Personal Branding Summit. I'm excited that you are here because this year's edition is going to be one for the books. My name is Kambili, and I'll be your host today alongside Emeka Ebeniro. The long-awaited summit is here, and as we all know, this year's theme, The Rise of AI 2, is the 2.0 version of last year's. Our speakers are experts in their respective fields, representing Africa on a global scale. They are here and ready to impact into us the knowledge that will guarantee success in our respective fields. I hope we all have our writing and journaling materials ready because you don't want to miss anything that would be said today. Sit tight and enjoy the summit. Over to you, Emeka.
Thank you so much,
Personal Branding
Kambili.
Summit 2025, The Rise of AI 2.
Thank you so much, Kambili. Thank you. I'm super excited. Welcome to the 5th edition of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding. My name is Emeka Ebeniro, and I'm really excited to have you here. This has been 5 amazing years of us fostering the growth of institutions, organizations, and individuals using personal brand. And this year is not an exception. Like AI is really taking over. We're in the era of AI, and there's so much that you can learn and do with AI. But one of the greatest questions, one of the most frequent questions people ask is, would AI take my job? What can't AI do? Because right now we have people like Kambili and all the other things you'll be seeing at the summits, which were done with AI. And that is interesting because we're now in an inclusive era where you and AI partner to get things done. And that's what we want to show you at this year's summit. It's going to be an interesting one, but I'm not alone. I have my amazing team behind me, and I also have the great speakers backstage that will be coming up to share one or two things that you can learn. And this year's edition, which is the Rise of AI 2, is really going to be an eye-opening one. So what I want you to do today is I want you to take your pen, paper, get ready, sit close to your seat, be excited, be ready, because it's going to be truly an amazing experience. My name is Emeka Ebeniro, and if you are meeting me for the very first time, I'm the convener of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding. I'm an AI specialist, and I'm also a growth marketer. And these are the things that I do. And with my team, we've been able to put this conference together, not only this edition, but we've been doing this for the past 5 years. And we are really excited to have you here join us on this journey. Before we go to our very first speaker and all the other things, I want to use the opportunity to once again thank all our supporters. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or any other platform, we want to thank you. And we know that this is going to be one of the best times you're going to spend with us. So we'll be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll be having our very first speaker. I don't want to give you too much, but let's go on this short break. When we come back, we'll have our very first speaker.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2. AI is not just the future. AI is the now. Across every corner of the globe, nations like Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, the USA are seizing its power, transforming industries and revolutionizing our way of life. Africa will not be left behind. We are rising. Welcome to Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding, with the theme, The Rise of AI 2. Speaking, Otombo Vincent, Paco Mushaga, Harriet Mugisa, Ayeli Wura Ogunbola, George Ta, Emeka Ebeniro. Date, February 26 and 27. Time, 6 p.m. GMT. To register, visit pbsglobal.xyz. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
We are moving on to the speaker section, the main event for the day. I don't know about you, but I'm already on the edge of my seat because I know I won't be leaving here the same. We have over 5 speakers who are set to speak at this summit, but today, only 3 speakers will take the floor, one at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Otombo Vincent.
Otombo Vincent is a renowned leadership development expert and entrepreneur with a proven track record of success in empowering leaders across Africa. As a co-founder and principal consultant at Sav Skills Limited, Otombo has successfully delivered programs impacting over 10,000 individuals across Africa. He created and currently facilitates the Africa's Transformational Leadership Program, empowering over 100 senior managers to drive strategic initiatives within their organizations. He has held leadership positions in various organizations, including Toastmasters International, where he was the past president of Tamarin Mombasa Toastmasters Club, leading the club to achieve 10 distinguished club goals, earning the highest distinction, and at Rotary Club, where he was also a former president of the Rotary Club Mombasa Central from 2020 to 2021. Otombo has also authored and published a personal development book titled Embark, which was aimed at provoking leaders to start the journey of finding themselves and driving impactful change within their organizations. In 2024, Otombo was recognized as one of the 50 most influential men in Kenya, Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Otambo Vincent.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on the time zone that you are streaming from. It's amazing to see it and get to listen, being introduced, and it gives me an opportunity to bounce back on the journey that I have had. And this being my birthday week and that of Emeka and month as well, it's great to be given this opportunity to speak to us about personal branding. And my theme tonight is the power of a personal brand in an AI-driven world. As we begin this conversation, allow me to quote from my book, a quote that was given by James Anthony. And he says that you cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself one. I repeat, you cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself one. The words of James Anthony. No matter the era, when it comes to personal branding, as a leader, you ought to be intentional on whom you want to become. You can't simply wake up and dream yourself into a brand, but you must intentionally hammer and forge yourself into one. And that building of your character is what builds and enhances your personal brand, no matter whether we are in the era of AI or not. And I want to begin by saying that the biggest risk is not that AI is going to replace you. The biggest risk is that you remain invisible in a world where visibility creates opportunities. I repeat that again. The biggest risk is not that AI will replace you. The biggest risk is that you remain invisible in a world where visibility creates opportunities. And that is personal branding in an AI-driven world. Think about it. 90% of online content could be AI generated by 2026. That is 2026. This is a research by Gartner. McKinsey also says that 75% of jobs will require advanced digital skills by 2030. AI-generated resumes and personal branding tools are already helping people secure opportunities faster than ever before. What does this mean to you and I as leaders in our respective industries? Number one, AI can do a job faster than you because it doesn't have attitude, doesn't have moods. It is created to deliver what it's expected to deliver. Does not get sick. AI can write better content than you and I. AI can also create deepfake videos of people who never existed. Again, the question is, where does this leave you as a brand? It leaves you with something that is a major advantage. Your unique human story. Your unique human story and my unique human story. Let me give you a little bit of mine. 2017 is the year I co-founded ServSkills Limited. When I co-founded the organization, as one of the active directors, I thought that skills alone can take me somewhere. Hard work can take me somewhere. And that those two things, skills and hard work, will open a lot of doors for me. I believe that if I was good at something, passionate about it, even as we get advice that find something you're passionate about and all that, I thought that those are the recipes for success. And that if I am so good, I am hardworking, I am passionate, that alone is going to attract naturally success to me. But I was wrong. I realized that, and this is very important, people don't just buy skills. They buy trust. They buy authority. They buy authenticity. And the moment I started sharing my journey, my insights, my experiences through storytelling, speaking, and strategic branding, everything changed. Actually, I even started a program called Stories of Significance, where we want to intentionally tell stories of great Africans doing great things, but they do not have time to author books. They do not have time to blog on either TikTok or even YouTube. But they are doing great stuff. And the world is craving for someone who is in the same environment, the same economic situation, but these people have chosen to build a brand and do something unique to challenge the status quo. And what happens when you view life, when you view leadership, when you view your career from that lens? A few things happen. 3 to be specific. 1, you start attracting instead of chasing. Number 2, you build influence beyond your immediate circle. That means you can build your audience and influence beyond Kenya, beyond Mombasa, where I am. And that has made and given us opportunity to coach leaders in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Chad, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. It enhances your circle of influence. And number 3, it creates opportunities that AI can never replicate. But AI enhances how you can be able to create those opportunities. It is true that AI can process data. It can build it, but it can't build relationships. It can process data, but it can't build relationships between me and Emeka, for example. It can generate content, but it can't create trust. And you and I know that life is all about relationships, and not just relationships, but quality, fulfilling relationships. And this is the point where I pause and I quote one of the greatest leaders that I love reading from. And this is none other than Marissa Murgatroyd. Marissa Murgatroyd said, and I quote, that the biggest thing that differentiates you is who you are. People work with people. People don't work with companies. They do not do business with products or services, including AI. The way people present themselves conveys so much of who they are and what they value. Only when I feel people's heart, when I feel what they believe, what they value, that is when I make a choice. I want to work with them. In simple terms, personal branding in an AI-driven world calls for you and I to introspect and find who we are. Because finding who we are is the fundamental principle of creating our personal brand. And therefore, once we have created our personal brand, the question we ask ourselves in an AI-driven world is, how can AI become a tool that amplifies my personal brand, enhances my influence beyond my comfort zone and my area of influence, so that the world can benefit from my brand? So the question is, who are you? What do you believe in? What do you value? What can you be trusted on? What can you be dependable and relied on? My message is simple. 3 pillars for building unstoppable brand in an era where the world is driven by AI. Number 1, clarity. Clarity. Jeff Bezos said, and I quote, "If you don't define your brand, the world will define it for you." What is your brand? Is a key question that I would like you to ask yourself. And just to say that I'm not just giving a motivational talk, I would like to read for you a little bit of my personal brand blueprint, because I've really taken my time to create one for myself. So allow me to read for you a little bit of my personal brand. Now, personal branding is tied to 4 key things. For you to know yourself, you must find your passion, your profession, your vocation, and your mission. When it comes to that, this is how my personal brand goes. As Otumbo Vincent, I am passionate about inspiring and empowering people to believe in themselves and go after their dreams with confidence. As Otumbo Vincent, my profession is to empower leaders and transform organizations through leadership coaching and management consultancy. My vocation as Otumbo Vincent is to speak, to transform, to write and tell inspiring stories, and most importantly, moderate conversations for growth. My mission is to mentor young people to believe in themselves and rise above their circumstances through personal development, leadership, and entrepreneurship. That is my clarity. That is my purpose. And every single day, I want to wake up pursuing those things with passion. What is your personal brand blueprint? I will go ahead and define, as a brand, you must have values. My values are I excel, which means I stands for integrity. And how do I define integrity? That I will strive to make and keep promises first to myself and to others. I will do my best to act with integrity and accountability. My second value is excellence, that I will always commit to delivering top quality results in everything that I choose to do. X for exploration, that I will commit to innovate and embrace creative solutions. Collaboration, I value partnerships for shared growth. Empowerment, I will help people believe in themselves, discover their strengths, and succeed. And last but not least is lead with purpose. I will be intentional, create value, and make impact. And therefore, what is my mission and vision statement? My vision statement is to shape the future where African leaders and organizations thrive through purpose-driven growth and transformative leadership. And I have a couple of missions. I have things like personal mission, professional mission, global impact mission, leadership mission, and legacy mission. Probably, I'd just like to share with you my legacy mission is to create a ripple effect of transformation by inspiring leaders, nurturing ideas, and cultivating a legacy of empowered individuals and thriving organizations that shape the future for generations to come. What is your clarity? The moment you wake up, what are you pursuing as a leader? So clarity is the cornerstone of building your personal brand, identifying how uniquely you appear in the marketplace where everybody is seeking the same love, seeking the same paycheck, seeking the same position, looking for the same business deal, where everybody is simply shouting, love me, take me, believe in me, trust me. What uniqueness do you come with in a sea where everybody is seeking for the same attention from the same people? In the words of Jeff Bezos again, if you don't define your brand, the world will define it for you. Ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? What problem do you want to solve better than anyone else? What is the one thing that AI can't replicate about you? And we can see individuals like Elon Musk who are disrupting the marketplace. Marissa Magatroid says that who you are is all about how you are different and how you show up in the world, which shapes people's perception of you and their response toward you. Who you are pushes the wrong customers, students, and clients away from you while causing the right people to be drawn towards you. Point number 2, visibility. Once you have clarity of what your brand represents, the next thing is visibility. Who is seeing your brand? Who is talking about your brand? Again, Jeff Bezos says that your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So you ought to have brand ambassadors, people who believe in your brand, and they believe in your brand even when you use tools like AI to enhance and build confidence. For example, on LinkedIn, the articles you write, the posts you make on social media, whether it's Instagram or X or Facebook, those are platforms that you use to build a tribe that believes in your brand. Convert them into your brand ambassadors. And one of the tools you can use to do that is AI. Take control of your brand by building authentic digital presence in social media, sharing your story, lessons, and expertise regularly. Engage with thought leaders and communities in the industry. Don't just stay you are an expert, but to yourself. Let the world know what you're made of. Point number 3 in building your brand in an AI-driven world is human connection. If there is something that we have and we are unique from all animals, is human connection. How can you use AI to leverage human connection? Because that is something that AI cannot take from us. Maya Angelou said that people may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And by the way, one of the things that I do to enhance my human connection is I am intentionally every single day taking time, so long as I know on Facebook and LinkedIn somebody is celebrating their birthday, I craft a personal message for them, because that is something AI can't do. And I even check, actually, by the fact that we are connected, is my content adding any value to their life? Human connection. And I want to say that we live in a world where relationships are very expensive. And therefore, leaders and people choose to use each other instead of building intentional connections that can enhance our personal brands. So, the future belongs to those people who will build genuine human relations, use storytelling to inspire, persuade, and connect, lead with empathy, authenticity, and emotional intelligence. Think of great leaders like Nelson Mandela, Barack Obama. They were just not skilled. They were human-centered. They were relatable and deeply connected to people's emotions. And AI can never replace people's emotions. And that is human connection. It is your superpower as a brand. William Aruda said, and I quote, that branding is rooted in authenticity. That means as a leader, you need to sit down and really get to know who you are before you can start building your brand, before you can start expressing your brand through marketing materials, social media posts. It is important to know who you are and the value that you promise to the people you feel you are called for in the marketplace. Otherwise, you will waste your time and your effort. Ladies and gentlemen, the future belongs to those people who take action, to leaders who are intentional and believe in excellence and believe that knowing yourself and finding your purpose is the best way to build your brand. Peter Drucker said that the best way to predict the future is to create it. So AI is kind of a buzzword, but how are you creating yourself to build your future? We are no longer in an era where technical skills alone will set you apart. AI is already doing what was once considered highly skilled human work. What will you do? I think I'll pause there for a Q&A session before I give my closing remarks. Over to you, Emeka.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Otumbo Vincent. That was really amazing. I really enjoyed your session. All the pointers that you shared, the quotes that you gave, it's really, really insightful. At this point, we want to open it up for questions and answers so we can get people's feedback and also hear what they have to say. But before that, can you just give us a little insight? Because looking at your profile and some of the you shared, for you, I believe that personal branding and leadership go hand in hand. What's the motivation or inspiration behind that? Why do you think that leaders should have good personal brands? That's my question to you, Vincent.
You see, Emeka, that's a very good question. John C. Maxwell says that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less.
Fantastic.
Now, at the heart of leadership, at the heart of influence, lies the foundation of effective communication. Now, what is the foundation of effective communication? It is being aware of who you are. And that is personal leadership. And you see, if leadership is influence, then it means for you to build a brand, you ought to be a leader so that you can influence people to a certain direction, so that you can influence yourself from point A to point B. And if you can influence yourself from point A to point B, it means you have a capacity to take a group and influence it from point A to point B, leadership. And that is where we talk about leading by example. So personal branding is actually finding the leader in you and leading that leader in you so that you can be able to have the capacity to lead others, even in your post.
I love that.
We can never separate personal branding from leadership. It's actually leadership equals personal branding. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. I love the way you put it. You said leadership equals personal branding and they cannot be separated, which is really true. I strongly believe that leaders who have influence should pay attention or be mindful of their personal brands, because they would reflect their leadership style through their personal brand. And then their followers would decide if that is a leader that they want to emulate or they want to follow. And interestingly, you know that a lot of leaders might be leaders because of position. How would you address that if you find yourself in a leadership position due to the position you occupy in an organization? What would you say about that, as opposed to just you being a leader because people know, like, and trust you? What would be your insights, or what would be your take on that?
Again, I will go back to the conversation we've just had. You see, if leadership equals personal branding, the greatest job of a leader is not to influence people. The greatest job of a leader is to create more leaders. Okay, for example, right now, I'm a leader in our church. I go to SITA Mombasa. I'm the secretary to the men ministry. You think my job there is actually to create more leaders? So you will find, for example, where we have fellowships, instead of the committee organizing the fellowships, we take it to the members to organize the fellowship. When it comes to giving speeches, moderating sessions, you will not find me there. For me, my opportunities will come at Personal Branding Summit, okay? But at that point, I have been given the opportunity to create opportunities for others. So my job as a leader is to sit and ask myself, the 300 men we have in this church, how can we enhance their influence? How can we, amplify their personal brands? That is the job of a leader. You get a position to elevate people into leadership positions as well. So leadership is about building more leaders. Actually, I love giving long answers because I like.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll take one more long answer. Then we have another question here. Have a question here. It says, so apart from building your personal brand, I have a network to connect with people to remain relevant and grow my goal. Okay. No, that's not a question. Okay, yeah, this is a question more or less like, what areas have you applied AI in your personal brand journey? Yeah, that's more like it.
Thank you. I think personally, I use AI to really build my content. I use it for brainstorming. In the past, there are three ways of brainstorming. First of all, when you are aware of your strengths, your weaknesses, you have your clarity, you can brainstorm in your own mind. That is why a human being, in some point, you need to be self-sufficient. You need to be self-sufficient. Yeah. Can you imagine a maker you alone in the world? You ought to be self-sufficient. So we have that power of being self-sufficient. Now, instead of me being self-sufficient, I can actually brainstorm with AI about what I want. I give it, it gives me back. The old school brainstorming is when you have like a leadership or strategic retreat with your team.
Yeah.
So you want to discuss, we bounce off ideas. I use AI to bounce off ideas a lot. Every single day, I'm bouncing off ideas. I'm like, so if you think this way, what about the other way?
Yeah, very true.
Is it possible? I use it to brainstorm a lot, and I use it to actually expose myself. You see, one of the biggest challenge we have, for example, I want to say I'm in Africa. The biggest challenge we have is lack of exposure. I remember when I met my mentor in 2017, he looked at me and he told me two things. Young man, you have a brilliant mind, you are intelligent, but you suffer one major thing in your life. You lack exposure. As your mentor, one of the first thing I'm going to do is to expose you. I use AI to remove some stupidity in my mind and ignorance.
I like that.
Expose myself.
I like that. I love that. I love that.
I don't believe men need to be idle. So if I find myself, I'm removing some ignorance out of my life by, brainstorming with it. I use it a lot on that. But also, I know our colleagues in the office use it, especially for creating content and all that stuff for social media, because I don't do content for our organization. Other people do it. But personally, I love it a lot. I use it to create slides. And you see, like Microsoft have even incorporated in their packages. I used to create slides and sometimes graphical presentation communicate a lot. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Vincent. Guys, that has been an amazing session by Vincent Otumbo. Don't forget, you can follow him on all social media platforms at Lead with Otumbo Vincent. Not only that, you can connect with him on LinkedIn, where he writes really thought leadership articles, and then you can also send him a DM. He's very responsive. I can say that for sure. If you send Vincent a DM on LinkedIn, he would definitely respond. So guys, thank you so much, Vincent. We will definitely reach out to you. For those of you that would like to learn more, make sure that you check the emails, make sure you check all the other communication materials, because we're going to be sharing so much insight from Vincent and from the other speakers as well. So please do not just register and forget to check your email. So check your promotions, check your spam, check all the folders for all the information that we have concerning this conference. And by the way, we've had so many questions. People have been like, Emeka, you guys are doing an amazing job. Have you been able to put this together for the past 4 years? Bring speakers from different parts of Africa, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria, Ghana, everywhere from Africa we've possibly done. And this year we even have someone from Botswana. This year we also have someone again from Cameroon. And people have asked this question. And we say, you know what? Maybe we need to pass this information forward. We need to pass this knowledge forward where you can build your brand authority using live events. And if this is you, if this is something that you're interested in, we're going to send out a form so that you can fill in your interest, and we would see if this is something that we should push forward. How would be the best way to share this information to you? If you're a coach, consultant, business owner, and you want to build your brand using live events, we'll definitely have a session on that. So we want to know if that's something you're interested in. But right now, before we go on a short break, I want to thank again everyone for being here, and also our speakers. But I'll be passing it down to my co-host, Kembili, who will be sharing more about the conference and also about all our supporters and all the amazing job they are doing. So I'll pass it over to her, and then we'll go right to our next speaker.
Welcome back from that short break. Before we continue, we want to thank our supporters. Personal Branding Summit, PBS, 2025 is powered by Trillian and supported by Indoors, Jambo Radio, Talent Expat, Ezioply AI, Connect Nigeria, Inside Business Africa, and Markeli Hub. Up next is a video from one of our supporters.
Are you a tech talent ready for your next big career move? Do you want the opportunity to showcase your skills and get hired on the spot by leading companies across Africa? The Talent Expert Solutions 24-hour hire-a-thon is your gateway to career acceleration. This is not just another job fair. This is a recruitment marathon, a high-impact, real-time hiring event designed to connect Africa's brightest tech minds with top organizations that are ready to hire immediately. Who should apply? We are looking for highly skilled tech talents and professionals in tech-adjacent roles across Africa, including, but not limited to, software development and engineering, front-end, back-end, full-stack, mobile development, data science and analytics, data engineers, machine learning experts, AI specialists, cybersecurity and cloud computing, UI, UX design and product design, DevOps and IT infrastructure, blockchain and Web3 developers, digital marketing and growth hacking, product and project management, in tech technical sales and tech recruitment, AI and automation specialists, tech support and IT specialists. How it works, register on our website. www.talentexpat.com. Submit your profile and showcase your skills. Get shortlisted and receive pre-event preparation materials. Join the live hire-a-thon, where companies will engage, assess, and hire on the spot. Why join? Fast-track your job search. Connect directly with hiring organizations. Showcase your expertise to top recruiters and decision-makers. Land your next role with companies actively hiring across Africa. Expand your network in the tech ecosystem. Application deadline, March 31st, 2025. Live event date, April 25th, 2025. Don't miss this opportunity to get hired and take your career to the next level. Apply now at www.talentexpat.com. Talent Expert Solutions, building futures, bridging gaps.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Welcome back from that short break. Yes, before we go to our next speaker, I believe we still have one or two words. For those of you that still have questions for Vincent, you can put them up. And also, we still have one or two words from Vincent, who would like to give his parting shot. So while we wait for Vincent to get ready for your parting shot, we will go on a short break. And when we come back, we would have Vincent give his parting shot, and then we will go to our very second speaker.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Great to be back. I just want to say that those who master their brand will thrive. And the best way to build your future is to future-proof your brand starting now. And that means you have to develop your clarity of what you stand for as a leader and what your brand represents. And that is not enough. Once you're clear, build your visibility. Leverage on AI to enhance your visibility. Use the social media to enhance your visibility. But most importantly, never forget to connect with humanity and be obsessed with excellency in every simple or big or huge opportunities that come your way. Start sharing your expertise, engage with industry leaders, take control of your digital footprint, and build a brand that AI can't replace. Remember, people don't buy products, they don't work with services. People buy people, and people buy people that they trust. The question is, when the question of trust is coming your way, will you be trusted? Therefore means that you can stand, or will you be forgotten because you can't be trusted? The spots of people to be trusted are limited. So secure yours today. And thanks to the Personal Branding Summit 2025. This is Otumbo Vincent, and I am out.
Thank you so much, Vincent. Thank you for that. That was an amazing session. And thank you for your parting shot. So remember, guys, people that are trusted are people that will get the transaction. So if you want to increase your influence, your income, you need to play the trust card. People need to trust you more. So talking about trust, we're going into our next speaker who we really trust will deliver a great job. And we know that it's going to be something you're going to be you're going to love a lot. And we just want to thank Vincent. Someone says, thank you, Vincent, for your session, your personal brand leadership. So, you're looking to help you improve your brand. No problem. Vincent will reach out to Vincent to help you with that. So that's something that you can always do. So guys, We're going on a short break. When we come back, we have our very second speaker for the day. But before we go on that break, I want to thank our supporters, talent experts, Marketly Hub. So Marketly Hub is a platform that helps you get hired faster as a project manager in the diaspora. So if you are in Africa, you want to work as a project manager in the UK, US, or Canada, then you need to visit Marketly Hub to get that done. We will be putting that in the comments as well. We'll put that along with all the other platforms. We also have Endorse. Endorse is a travel tech company that helps you with your education. So if you're looking to get your EB1 visa or you're looking to get your global talent visa, Endorse would help you, and you can visit Endorse at endorse.co. Endorse is another platform that's supporting us, and they want to help professionals all across Africa get, like Vincent rightly said, get exposure. So if your dream is to live in the UK or study in the UK with your family or just yourself, then you need to visit endorse.co. Then we also have easyapply.ai. This platform is amazing, and you can get up to 20% off by using the code PBS. We'll be sharing that as well. With easyapply.ai, you need to visit easyapply.ai. You can apply for any job you see in the UK, and also you can search by jobs that have sponsorship. So if you're looking for a COS, a sponsored job, a skilled worker visa, easyapply.ai would help you with that application by narrowing down your job search based on your skill set. We also want to thank Connect Nigeria. Connect Nigeria is one of our supporters, and also Inside Business Africa, and also Bully Recovery and Awareness. The list goes on, but I'll be taking a break from that, and then we will go on this short break. When we come back, guys, we're having our very second speaker.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed yourself so far and have learned a thing or two. We are about to have another brilliant mind take the floor, so please give this next speaker your rapt attention, because trust me, you don't want to miss a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Henriette Paula Magisa.
Henriette Paula Mugisa, the founder of Tessa Advisory Services. Henriette is a business coach, thought leader, and enterprise course creator with over 10 years of business development experience in supporting MSMEs in Africa to ideate, start, and grow businesses. Paula has worked with over 100 African female entrepreneurs through TISA's Tutendijk course and small business coaching programs. She has trained over 4,000 entrepreneurs through free and paid business content created by TISA. Paula has also supported the creation of the Small Business Curriculum for the High Innovator Program with Outbox Hub and Make-A-Career University Business School, MUBS Uganda, initiated by the National Social Security Fund, NSSF, Uganda, and funded by the MasterCard Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Henriette Mugisa.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you all are. It's 10 p.m. in Uganda, so it's good evening from us. I understand we have people from Cameroon and Mombasa and Botswana and Nigeria and Kenya. I am so excited to be here. It's about 5 minutes to 10 p.m. in Uganda, but I've had my coffee. I'm super pumped. I'm not going to take so much of your time after I introduce myself, but I was thinking about the things that have allowed me to grow my personal brand over the past maybe 7 years or so, and that's what I'm going to share. Thank you so much, Personal Branding Summit 2025, Chapter 5. Thank you, Emeka, and the organizing team and all of the sponsors. I am so, so happy to be here. So my name, I go by Paula. My full name is Henriette Paula Mugisa, but I go by Paula. I'm a Christian, I'm a mom, I'm so many things. But maybe for the purposes of today, I'm a business coach in Uganda. I coach small businesses, micro and small businesses in Uganda for the past 7 years, running a company called TESA, which in Luganda means to plan, to discuss, to agree. So we coach businesses, 90% of whom are women. I'm an educator. I design curriculums and courses and learning material for entrepreneurs in Uganda. We have designed curriculums for our National Social Security Fund in Uganda, for the United Nations, for creatives. We've run incubation projects. We have digital courses. We have a skilling platform. We have turned some of our courses into physical books. We have gone across the country preaching enterprise, specifically in the areas of ideation, of branding, and selling. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here speaking to all of you. I hope the Lord can use me to be of value to you. I haven't had to think about what my strategy is for quite a while now, for quite a number of years now. I haven't had to think about what my strategy is and was, especially was, whilst I was starting out, and what has allowed us to have the opportunities that we have had. We have had some amazing speakers already. Did you guys hear what Vincent shared? OMG. I agree with most of it. I was learning, I was taking notes myself. AI has changed the game and accelerated what we are able to do in such a short time, including for our personal brands and our business brands as well, which many of us are building in tandem. And so it's really exciting, the possibilities, the opportunities, the reach we could get, what we could share. We are so privileged to be a generation that can ideate something and can put it into action in a matter of minutes, in a matter of seconds. Yeah. And with such energy and with such vigor. It's something that even my parents didn't get to do. And so it's both a powerful thing and something to be held carefully. And so I'm excited to be here in such a time as this. So going to make sure I maximize my 20 minutes and not a minute more. And I will just stay behind with Emeka to answer some questions, or even just to provide some encouragement or to hear your thoughts about what I've shared and what the other speakers have shared. Yes, so just 3 things. I'm going to interweave these 3 things that I strongly believe have built my personal brand with how you can use AI to accelerate them, because that's the theme of why we're here. It's a personal branding summit, but under the theme of the rise of AI. And so I'm going to do my best to merge those 2 things. Right, so we will start with the first thing for those of you taking notes, though I understand that there's going to be a recording. But the first thing that I truly believe has helped grow my personal brand and my business brand as a result, and has created so many opportunities for me to stand out, have conversations, have debate, acquire knowledge, exchange ideas, is being authentic. I think Vincent touched on this. We are in a world right now, and even in Africa, it's commonplace for us to duplicate ideas, to be copycats, but I haven't found a single strategy more worthwhile, more useful, and more meaningful than just being you, than saying what you think and saying what you feel and saying how you see the world and rearranging the world in your mind and expressing that with your voice and emotions. There is nothing like it, because there is nothing like you. And so often on all the platforms, LinkedIn and Twitter, what I see most often is many of us regurgitating the ideas of others and presenting them as our own. And what we don't realize is, while that's a cheap win, to find content that's trending or a topic that's trending, and to share about it the way somebody else has shared about it, the thing about not strengthening the muscle that is your own voice is, one, you always have to go back, right? You always have to go back where you got the information, to keep like checking for more and seeing what other people are doing and trying to do something that will get you to stand out rather than being you. But also, if you set a precedent of suppressing your own voice and going to find somebody else's voice, after a while, you won't know what your voice is and what your opinion is about a particular debate or a particular trend. And for sure, we should weigh in to all the things happening in the world, but we should weigh in from our perspective. And we should also weigh in on what's going on internally. And we should also share the questions that we're having, the challenges that we're having, the wins, some of the opportunities that we're seeing. And all of those things come together to tell a beautiful, unique story about who you are. And AI, ChatGPT, DeepThink are helping me tremendously, not just find my own voice, but amplify my own voice. I think I have hit the limit at ChatGPT so far with the memory. So I only note, I don't know if it has been there, but I only noticed it late last year, where you start sharing things with ChatGPT and then it says memory updated, where the machine is starting to learn you and your tone and your voice and your likes and your dislikes and all of the things. And so it's regurgitating you back to you. And so far, I think between early last month and this month, I've had 2 really successful posts that I think were truly at the heart of me. One was talking about not wanting, in this day and age of branding, of building visibly, to find a niche. I don't know if you're all experiencing that resistance. I don't want to be just a business coach. I don't want to be just a learning designer. I don't want to be just a mom or a homeschooling mom. I think all of the different components and the different facets of us is what's interesting. Yeah. It's the person that created all of these different value in the world, in the marketplace, that's interesting, as opposed to just that one thing that they do well. And so I shared a prompt that I put into ChatGPT, and I said, as I grow my LinkedIn and as I grow my personal brand, I think I am the niche. I don't want to write just about this, and I don't want to write just about that, and I feel boxed in. And so what do you think I should share about, and what do you think about this strategy? It resonated with so many people. It had almost 9,000 impressions, and typically I get between 1,000 or 2,000, max 5,000 impressions. And so many people resonated of like, yeah, I don't want to be put in one box. Many things, I have so many ideas. There's so many things I want to execute on. There's so many things that I do in my life, so many thoughts I have, so many things I've done. And I want to find a congruent way to share about all of those things, because it's the combination of all of those things that's me, as opposed to just finding one niche. And so after a while of being told in the world, in business school, that we just need to find one path, I think people are realizing that they're more than just the one path. They're more than just their skills. They're also their interests. They're also their passions. They're also their hopes and their dreams. And I think ChatGPT helped me really bring voice and emotion to wanting to do things in an unconventional way, and wanting to do things passionately, and things that I feel, and express how I just don't want to be known for one thing or two things anymore. Another post, which was really, really interesting, and you guys can check me out on LinkedIn by my same name. I shared a few weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, the struggle of hiring an executive assistant. I went into ChatGPT and just ranted the way that you would tell a friend about how difficult it was how difficult it is to find an executive assistant. And I just said, can you shape all of this content, all of this rant into a real personable post about the state of our labor market, about how there is so much work, and how the people that need the jobs are putting off the people that can hire them, and us that can hire and are hiring just don't seem to understand maybe how to nurture or instruct or encourage the people that we want to come alongside us. And when I asked ChatGPT, that has been learning my voice for about over a year, to structure the content, it created a beautiful post that was really my voice, and it got 28,000 impressions. I must have slept at like 2 a.m. that day. I received phone calls and DMs and messages that have still not been able to apply. Country directors from international organizations, virtual assistants, operations people, everybody weighing in. It was such a controversial post, but so heartfelt about what I really was genuinely experiencing and struggling with, getting help to continue to build my vision at TESA. And so I am so keen and very interested about you all's voice who are watching this. So who will be watching this later? What are the things you want to say? What are the things that you're going through? What is it that you really, really think? What is it that you believe? How do you think a certain industry or subsector is supposed to be structured or running or frameworked or shaped? What's not working? What's really working really well? What's something that people think is not working, but you're finding is working? All the things. Imagine all of the thousands and tens of thousands of decisions that go on in your mind, and just bringing voice and emotion to some of them so that you can find your people, find the right opportunities, and enter value into our marketplace. And so spend a lot of time on this because I really, really believe in it. And I've had such interesting, wonderful, meaning conversations just by being authentic, bringing my voice to it, engaging and using AI as a brainstorming tool to better shape my voice, to share my thoughts with the world, even to debate, even to change my mind, not necessarily to even teach or give ideas. So that's the first thing. The second thing, that's more of a tactical strategy that I came up with maybe 8 or 9 years ago, before the start of my company, TESA, is I wanted to take action on a group of activities over the period of a decade, which the decade is still running. I think decade will be up 3 years from now. I wanted to take action on a set of activities that were meaningful, but that would simultaneously help me and my company stand out. Meaningful in a sense that they were offering value to others. So my idea, and I'll define meaningful for you. My idea of meaningful, worthy work is it has to be different. Nobody else has to be doing it. It has to prioritize service to others and value. And I must be so excited about just the thought of entering this work into the world. That's it. That was my only criteria. I'm not trying to make money, but trying to do things so differently and that were so cool to me. And to be the one, and to care so much about being the one to enter them into the world. That was it. That was my only criteria. And since I came up with that criteria, I have designed an online course. I've designed multiple online courses so much that I am now an instructional designer. I have started a business coaching people. I have coached over 1,000 people personally. Our programs have reached over 80,000 people. I started a vlog and I started a podcast and I have written books and I am currently shooting a documentary about our first 7 years of impact. Anything under the sun that I think will be cool and worthwhile to do, I have done. I have partnered with a hub to do one-on-one sessions on course creation. Like I have run virtual events, I've run a virtual tour, I have gone across the country teaching business and enterprise and ideation. I have been a judge at pitching competitions. I've taught people how to pitch anything under the sun that I think would be meaningful to do. I just did. I did it for the sake of doing it, just as an experiment, and from the sheer excitement of wanting to put that venture or that value or that project or activity out into the world to serve others. And honestly, I think that the thought had been running in my mind, but only in preparing to share something meaningful with you all that I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I did. Like, this is the first time I am actually voicing it. I talked a little bit about it on LinkedIn, but that has been it. That has been the strategy. Do everything of value, exciting and innovative under the sun. And so if you want to teach, teach. If you want to build a course and teach, do that. If you want to run a coaching program, if you want to be like a Mecca and run a summit, go ahead and do that. If you want to write the book, write the ebook first. All the things that you can imagine yourself doing, just do them with the resources you have. That has created for us a world of opportunities. The last thing, I've gone, I think, over time. But the last thing, and then I'll answer some questions and expound on things. The last thing is get to work. I think one of the things that I am dismayed about and disappointed about is all of the statistics about the rate of unemployment in Africa. The way I see it, there is just so much work and so much need and so much demand from youth in our communities in all subsectors. And I would really, really like to encourage you, and this has helped us secure most of the big jobs that we have had at TESA, is just get to work serving, just get to work serving a need, just get to work providing a solution. If we reframe work to not just be where we give value in a product or a service and get value back, and reframe it to just be where we give value where there's need, whether we get value back immediately or not, we will realize that there is so much work, there are so many jobs to do, there's so much demand for your services and skills at whatever level. I mean, like entry level, haven't been formally applied, no one has given you a contract for work. There is still so much need if you have the right heart posture and if you're committed to serve and if it really makes you light up to see somebody else helped or saved or their life made easier. I think that specific thing has helped us get a lot of business. We go in to give first, to serve first, to help first, and we've secured a lot of business that way. And you know what I wish AI was there to say, help me come up with a 6-month strategy of everything cool, actionable, and valuable that I can do under the sun. I live in this community, I live in this place. I like deep think for tactical advice and strategy more than I do a ChatGPT, which is more like a brainstorming back and forth platform. Yeah, but any one of them, Gemini too, I don't use as often, but still very useful. Go in and say, I live in this community and these are the problems I see and these are the skill sets I have. What do you think that I can do over the next 18 months where we can offer value, have deliver some great services, have an impact, and grow our portfolio to 20 companies in the next 18 months. And those companies all don't have to pay. We're happy to do the work and we're happy to offer this time. Nothing has gotten us business like being able to give and serve first. And so I hope that's useful. I've tried to pack in maybe 9 years of thoughts and ideas and strategies into this short talk, but I really, really would love to encourage you to use AI. Oh, I just also discovered really quickly, I discovered Napkin. I don't know if you guys have been put onto it, but I love it as a note-taking tool. And those of you that are like visual thinkers and want to see your ideas organized in a good way and prioritized by importance and urgency, and then displayed in like a really nice infographic, definitely get onto Napkin. I am enjoying it so much as a way to prioritize your projects, the brand opportunities you're looking out for, where you can serve, and how you can have more actionable goals that will lead you to strategies and actionable goals that will lead you to strategies that will help you achieve what you want to achieve this year and beyond, and also to help you hone your voice and hone your thoughts and to be assertive and passionate about the things that you care about. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Rush through that last part because I'm not sure how much time I've taken, but I am here to expound on anything and to ask a few questions. Oh, Emeka was saying I have 5 minutes to go, right? Okay, yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paula. That was really, really amazing. And yes, you talked about Napkin AI. That's one of my secret weapons. I love the way,
nice.
yes, I use it for presentations and all. So that's really one really good tool that helps me visualize my thinking, my notes, and all. And I really love it because it just helps you take away so many bullet points, so you don't have to have a lot of bullet points. I believe we have some questions here. This
Okay.
one says, what would you advise for someone just starting and has big dreams and goals? I feel very confused to start and doesn't want to make moves for fear or massive failure. So what would you advise this person to do?
Yeah, I would advise this person. I know every coach or every person on LinkedIn says that, but I would advise this person just to start and start by prioritizing service and offering value wherever you are. And that could just be as simple as going to your uncle's workshop, who's a carpenter, and like carrying things and offering to do the accounts and helping them record their systems and processes, or helping put them on social media. Just get in a position to serve and help, to do the work and to do the hard thing. I think clarity comes with action, and this day and age, there's just so much pressure to figure out your purpose and your path and the thing that's uniquely you. It's likely you're so many things and you're going to still be figuring out those things 2 decades from now, but no one can take away the value that you created for others. I've also learned I'm a risk taker. I am very, very risk tolerant. And so I really enjoy the adrenaline of taking a risk. And that's something that's not taught enough, but works so well when it comes to academics, when it comes to work, when it comes to building careers. And so embrace risks, fail so much. I mean, there is no better teacher to stack learning and unique, insightful learning than your own failure and your own pain. And so, yeah, I encourage you not to figure it out, but to serve and to fail and stack learning.
Awesome. You wouldn't have said it any better, because like you rightly said, clarity comes with execution. The more you do it, the clearer it becomes. And that's, for me, is one area that I would say we have embraced, putting this conference together when we had no idea of what it would be, how we'd meet so many amazing people just like yourself. But we just felt like, okay, there's a story to tell. Africa needs to be put on the map. People need to have a different perception of what it means to be African or what's going on in Africa. And we can only tell these stories through the eyes of speakers, trainers, leaders, coaches, consultants like yourself. And so if you're out there, please start afraid. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but it's the truth. You need to start afraid. The moment you take one step, it just makes sense. Every other thing just adds up. So thank you so much, Paula. Before you go, do you have any other thing, like we always say, parting shot, one last thing you'd like to share with someone out there that's thinking, okay, if she says that you become the niche, which is you do all your interest and all your passion and all your skill set. You express it through different means. Where do I start from? What would that advice be to maybe the Paula 3, 4, 5, or even 7 years ago?
Yeah, to the Paula 7 years ago, and to anybody just starting out, especially related to what Emeka was talking about, where I was saying, you're not just the one thing, you're many things. I would say, honestly, do all the things. Anybody who calls you up, are you available for the Personal Branding Summit? Yes. Do you want to volunteer to help teach children? Yes. Are you available to help us organize this event? Yes. Can you come and help us structure our curriculum? Yes. Can you help us do our branding? Yes. Your answer to everything just starting out, and what I would say to myself 7 years ago, is yes. Yes to every opportunity. Yes to every challenge where you have to give and serve. Yes to your time. Yes to just giving. I mean, they will reach a time where you will start to say no and narrow things down. But if you don't have clarity on your purpose, if you don't even know what you don't want to do, your answer to every opportunity should be yes. You should be breaking down doors to do everything, to serve, to carry tables, to I don't know, edit CVs, to train, every single thing that allows you to use skill sets you have, or talents you have, or those you're interested in, you don't even have. Your answer to every opportunity should be yes. You should build a reputation for hard work and a massive portfolio of all kinds of valuable skill sets. And then over time, you'll start to narrow down and figure out what's you. But you would have served.
Amazing. Thank you so much once again, Paula. We really do appreciate you and having you here at the 5th edition of the Personal Branding Summit. We definitely look forward to collaborating with you in the nearest future, where we would have a more insight on what's the word now? Immersive experience with you, so that people can really understand what it means to put these curriculums together, put their personal brand together, and possibly, your storytelling, because you gave some frameworks on how you'll be able to use ChatGPT and other LLMs to help you in your storytelling and in your content creation. So we believe that a workshop will do us good. But before you go, how can people reach out to you, and what projects are you currently working on? How can they be part of those projects?
Oh, yeah, great. Thanks. Yes. So my company is We Are Tessa everywhere. Tessa with a double E, so on Instagram, on X, on Facebook. We Are Tessa on LinkedIn. I am Henriette Paula Mugisa on LinkedIn, and then everywhere else I'm just H Paula Mugisa. But even if you put in Paula Mugisa, you'll find me there. I'm very good at writing long messages. Ask Emeka. So you can find me in LinkedIn DM. And yeah, what projects are we working on? We're designing a couple of cool curriculums I'm really, really excited about. We just designed a curriculum for girls in Eastern Uganda that have faced physical violence and were unable to create and unable to complete school beyond senior secondary school. And so we've designed an enterprise and life skills curriculum with them, with an American NGO.
Okay, yeah, your volume is back up. Are you there?
Hi, I lost you all. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah, we also just concluded designing a course for middle-aged and retirement-ready women in Uganda on what business will look like in retirement and how they can invest in their own enterprises and add value into the Ugandan market. We are also designing a curriculum on behalf of UC Berkeley, who trained entrepreneurs in Uganda in 2013. And so we are updating their 4-module, 32-lesson curriculum with digital skills for the Ugandan entrepreneur. We are designing that and really, really, really excited.
Awesome.
Something that's cool that I would love help on, and so people can share with me their ideas. And I'd love to contribute and collaborate with some people. Our church in Uganda recently commissioned a wonderful group of career missionaries who are going all over Uganda, helping where there is a lot of domestic violence, where there's health scares, where there is a lack of education for girls, and they're going there to preach the gospel, but also to just strengthen those communities. And so these people have committed to supporting these communities instead of having a traditional career. And so the gentleman who mentors them said to me after church, what would it look like to have an enterprise curriculum for career missionaries who are going to really impoverished communities? What would value and transactions and products and services look like for them? What could they create and give to communities and still make money doing their work, spreading the gospel of God? I was like, I don't know, but I would love to figure it out. So what God has done is just opened up so many niches and subsector groups of people who all need to create value through enterprise. And I am enjoying this work tremendously. So
Awesome.
Send me your ideas. Let's chat on LinkedIn.
Awesome. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paula. This has been amazing. So guys, follow Paula on all her social media platforms. She's very responsive on LinkedIn, and she writes really beautiful posts on LinkedIn. You can learn one or two things from her. And if you like to be part of her project, please send her a DM. She would love to collaborate with you. So guys, that has been our second speaker for day one of Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding. I still remain your co-host because we still have Kembili, who will be coming up shortly after this to welcome our next speaker. But before that happens, I want to thank once again all our supporters. EasyApply.ai. This platform would help you land a job in the UK, narrow down your job shares based on your CV and also based on the amount, the price you want, the salary you want. So based on your salary cap, your CV and all your other interests, EasyApply.ai would help you do that and also help you search based on jobs that are currently sponsoring. So please go to EasyApply.ai. If you want to be a project manager, then you need to connect with Marketly Hub. Yes, Marketly Hub is your go-to platform helping you land a high-paying project management job in the UK, in Canada, and in the US. That's something like, even if in this era of AI, we still need project managers to manage projects like the Personal Branding Summit and manage all the other projects that are out there. So visit Marketly Hub. You can find them on LinkedIn as well. We will share the details as well. Endorse is the platform that will help you get visas like your EB1 and EB2 visa and also your Global Talent visa. They will guide you on everything you need to know so that you can land that visa easy. That is a platform that you need to know and be part of. If you are in any part of Africa, or if you're currently in the UK, possibly you're a student, you're on a graduate visa, and you want to move over to a Global Talent visa, or you want to relocate to the US, then you need to be part of Endorse. You need to go to endorse.co to get more information and then let them help guide you on this journey. Not only that, we would like to thank Connect Nigeria and also Inside Business Africa for being part of this. Don't forget, we have tomorrow's session, which is going to be amazing. I'm not going to talk more about that. Kembili will share more about what's going to happen tomorrow. But I just want to thank all our supporters, thank our speakers so far, Otumbo Vincent and then Paula Magiza. We're going on a short break. When we come back, we're bringing up one more speaker. This is an amazing speaker that will be giving us so much insight. So guys, let's go on this short break. When we come back, we get to our next speaker.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Welcome back. It's been an exciting and wonderful time so far. Our last speaker for the day is about taking the floor, so ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Paco Mashoga.
Paco Mashoga is the founder and managing consultant at Talitha Kumi Consulting. He is a writer, speaker, and personal branding consultant. He has been hosted by national TV, radio, and newspapers in Botswana as an expert on strategic positioning and presentation. Paco has also been featured on numerous international podcasts in South Africa, the US, and Europe. His international talks include the Toastmasters Southern Africa Conference, where he addressed club members from 7 African countries, the 10th Annual International Auditors Conference, and the Ghana-based Code 57 platform. In the local market, he has given talks hosted by leading universities, corporates, and government. Paco doubles as a banking executive with 15 years of experience across 4 commercial banks. He is also a qualified trainer, board member, and guest lecturer on corporate finance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paco Mashoga.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2. AI is not just the future, AI is the now. Across every corner of the globe, nations like Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, the USA are seizing its power, transforming industries and revolutionizing our way of life. Africa will not be left behind. We are rising. Welcome to Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding with the theme, The Rise of AI 2. Speaking, Otombo Vincent, Paco Mashoga, Henriette Mugisa, Ayeni Wura Ogunbola, George Ta, Emeka Ebeniro. Date, February 26 and 27. Time, 6 p.m. GMT. To register, visit pbsglobal.xyz. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2. AI is not just the future, AI is the now. Across every corner of the globe, nations like Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, the USA are seizing its power, transforming industries and revolutionizing our way of life. Africa will not be left behind. We are rising. Welcome to Africa's #1 Global Summit on Personal Branding with the theme, The Rise of AI 2. Speaking, Otombo Vincent, Paco Mashoga, Henriette Mugisa, Ayeni Wura Ogunbola, George Ta, Emeka Ebeniro. Date, February 26 and 27. Time, 6 p.m. GMT. To register, visit pbsglobal.xyz. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Welcome back from that break. We are going to be bringing up Paco any moment from now. But before we get Paco Mashoga on the stage, we would like to hear from you. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat, wherever you're watching from. We would like to hear from you. What do you think is one thing that you know AI has really helped you with? Because everyone we've talked, Paula has shared about how she's using AI to improve on her writing. Otumbo talked about how he uses AI as his second brain to brainstorm, to bounce off ideas. And now we're going to be having Paco, who will be sharing how he's using AI. But we would like to hear from you, because this is a virtual summit, yes, but it's still very engaging. We are seeing the comments, we're looking at you, and we want you to be part of this conversation. We'd like to hear from you what's happening. In my session tomorrow, I don't want to put, let the cat out of the bag, but in my session tomorrow, I'm going to be opening some things and revealing a lot of things to you on how you can leverage AI on a bigger scale. For those of you that don't know, I'm an AI specialist, so I do a lot of things with AI, but that would be for tomorrow. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But for today, guys, we would like to hear from you. How are you using AI? What do you think AI can truly do for your business or for your career? We would like to hear from you. And as we bring up Paco there, I'm seeing the comments. The comments are there. Awesome. So yeah, so Paco, I believe Paco is ready. So okay, the comments it's coming in. I say AI is helping me make work smarter. I get a lot of ideas from AI and my body now. Fantastic. I love this. Everything HR. I love this. Please, guys, share in the comments. We'd like to hear from you. How are you using AI in your business? So, guys, yes. Who again is there? Let's know, because this is the purpose of this conference, to reveal other ways that you can use AI, not just for work, but also building your personal brand. And like Otumbo rightly said, people still work with people. People don't work with AI. People work with people. People buy from people. So how are you using AI to increase trust for your brand? We'd like to hear. So guys, I believe Paco is ready. We will go on the short break, and when we come back, the next voice you will hear will be Paco.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Right. Good evening, all. Hope we're well. Hope we're good. And I think, firstly, before getting into the presentation, I just like to appreciate the host for organizing this event, and also for asking me to come on board and share what I know about personal branding, and to also relate it with AI. I'd also like to appreciate the previous two speakers, Vincent and Paula. I enjoyed your presentations a lot, so thank you so much. So I'll get into my presentation now. I'm sharing my slides, so I trust that you can see them. I think, firstly, before I go into my presentation, I'd just like to highlight that I've taken a slightly different direction from the previous speakers in terms of my submission for today. So my presentation is titled The Intelligent Brand, and I'm here from Talita Kumi Consulting. I'll just take you a bit through what we do at Talita Kumi. Essentially, we do three things. We do consulting, we do coaching, and speaking services. I'll share a bit of our portfolio. As you'll note there on the screen, we work with different clients. We work with clients in the construction space. We work with clients in the beauty and pageantry space, and really corporates, NGOs, as well as government, all in the area of personal branding, public speaking, and presentation. We also do interviews as well, speaking on the same subject matter of personal branding, as well as how one can position themselves in the workplace as well as in business. We also give keynote addresses at various institutions, corporate institutions, NGOs, as well as government organizations. And so this is just a summary of what we do in the coaching, consulting, and speaking space. So you can find a gallery of our work at talitakumi.co.bw. To get into today's presentation, I'd like to first start off with Personal Branding 101. Just to touch on what personal branding is from my perspective and my experience in the field. The first thing is that your personal brand starts inward. So your brand is a manifestation of your self-image. Your brand is a physical expression of the mental picture you have of yourself. The way that you present yourself to the world is dependent, or rather stems from how you view yourself. The way that you dress to work, the way that you dress to events or to even church as well. Anywhere where you present yourself to the world, you present a picture based on how you view yourself internally. And so, in building your brand, it's important to start with your self esteem, your self confidence, and your self worth. As you work on those, it becomes much easier to present yourself confidently and neatly to the outside world, both online and offline as well. The second point is that personal branding is not fake it till you make it, which is a popular phrase that I'm sure most of us here are familiar with. Personal branding is about offering genuine value. It's about being able to offer a promise and fulfill that promise. This links to my third point around value proposition. So, your brand is backed by your value commitment, meaning that you commit that you can do a certain task or that you possess a certain skill. And so your brand is your brand promise to say, I'm an exceptional writer, and that's my brand. You brand yourself as a writer. Or I'm a speaker, you brand yourself as a speaker. Or you are in the music space, you brand yourself as an artist. Whatever it is that you package yourself as, you need to be able to actually deliver. Because if you claim you can do something, you sound like you can do it, you look like you can do it, but you can't actually deliver it. That makes you a con artist, because con artists ride on image, on sounding a certain way, looking a certain way, but not being able to deliver anything within that scope. And so, for you to be seen as a genuine brand, you need to have a value proposition. So, the skills that you say you have, it's important that you are able to actually demonstrate those skills. And so that's what I wanted to touch on in terms of just the basics of what personal branding is, the foundation of your brand being your self image, and then the physical expression that comes thereon. Moving further, I'll touch on a bit on AI and personal branding. And as I highlighted, my submission will differ quite differently from the two previous speakers. So you may have seen this meme from the Spider-Man cartoon. So it's about spotting the imposter, spotting who's a real Spider-Man and who is not the real Spider-Man. So who's the OG and who's the fake? And the reason I bring this up is that in the world of AI, in the world of AI graphics, AI videos, the chats and everything generated by AI, there's a need to still be able to differentiate between what is AI generated and what is not AI generated. So we do this because we want to essentially retain what makes us human at the end of the day. AI can optimize your work, it can give you ideas, it can help you with a calendar and a strategy and so many other good things. It can do all of that, but what is important is to still retain the human aspect of you at the end of the day. So optimization is good, efficiency is much welcome, but it's important that at the end of the day, we don't lose what makes us unique in the midst of all of that. To expand on this further, if you build a brand that is primarily reliant on AI, meaning that your pictures, your video content, your graphics, right down to the text that you put out, is heavily dependent on AI. People can, to an extent anyway, they can tell when something is AI. If you look at an AI picture, it looks perfect, it looks good, but there's something that just says, you know what, this isn't just right. There's something about this picture, and that something is the fact that it's AI generated. Similar to if you put out content that is strictly written by AI, there's a certain, I say, language or style that AI uses that one can tell that this is just very, very perfect, almost scientific, almost academic in a sense, and that's how people can tell that it's not AI. And then personal branding, as the term suggests, people want you personally. They want to connect with your kind of thinking, with your kind of writing, with actual unedited pictures of you. So in personal branding, there's a need to have that balance between what is AI generated and what is you. So it's okay to have a crutch to lean on, but the danger is when the crutch is now permanent and you cannot do without the crutch. You want to be able to get support, yes, but to not be fully reliant on that support. Then a second point here is that with AI generated posts, one may feel that the author doesn't have enough confidence or trust in themselves to come up with original content, and so they use AI generated content. And so there's a risk that people might understand your reason for using AI. Again, this is if you use AI consistently in every single post. And so you want to, again, retain an element of yourself so that people can get a sense and a flavor of how you think. As much as AI can come up with 1,000 great ideas, there are some ideas that only you can come up with, and they'll have a hint of your character and your personality. Then the third point is that, which I talked to earlier, is that AI speaks logic. It speaks the correct things, the right things, accurate things, but because they're not coming from a human mind, they are not as relatable. They are correct, they're accurate, they are almost perfect, but they're not relatable because they don't come from human experiences. So it's not a story that someone has gone through and they're now sharing. Because AI hasn't lived a life, it hasn't gone through certain experiences, it can't tell a story in a way that you can tell it, with emotions, with depth, with humor, and all the things that make a story told by a person different from one that is told by AI. And so, again, this talks to balance between you and AI. Then lastly, audiences desire face-to-face interactions. If you constantly rely on AI for all your content creation in terms of personal branding, the day that you are asked to do an interview, what's likely to happen? Or let's say you're asked to give a talk, a presentation. Because all your online content is AI based, what you say on stage or on TV or on radio will come from your mind and your type of thinking, which is different from AI based thinking. And so, what you've introduced people to online as being you, as being your content, will be different from how you actually think as a person in real life. And so, there's a risk of creating I'd say, a form of dissonance between the you online and the you in person. And so, this means that you create a risk of overselling online through AI, which will say great and amazing things. Then in person, you're not able to match up to the standard that AI has set online through your social media profiles. And so that is one risk that arises out of over reliance on AI. Then another aspect is around man versus machine. So in our journey with AI, we need to note what makes us different from AI, what makes us unique from AI. AI has a number of great solutions, ideas, and strategies, but there are certain limitations that it has that have to do with what makes you human, what makes you unique, and what makes you relatable to your audience. Ultimately, personal branding is about people that follow you being able to relate with you. They understand you, they feel that you understand them, and your journey talks to their own personal journey. And that's what gets someone to follow you online and to attend your events, because they find you relatable in some manner. And so, in you ensuring that in the age of AI, you don't become irrelevant, you don't become obsolete, if I may call it that, is for you as an individual to embrace evolution and being dynamic, meaning that you have to grow as a person. You have to grow in what you know, you have to grow in your skills and in your presentation as well. And so, as AI is highly advanced in its speed of evolution, in our own space as people, to ensure that we don't become obsolete in our own world, we need to develop and evolve ourselves, challenge ourselves to read more, to know more, to learn more, and to be better than we were 5 years back. You know, something that typically happens if you listen to, let's say, a singer that started singing maybe in the 90s, right? If you listen to them today, someone that used to listen to them back in the day, they are likely to say, you know what, he's really good right now, but if you had heard him back in the day, it was amazing back then. That's typically what happens, is that we regress in our skills and in our delivery with time. But you want to stay ahead of the curve and actually improve in your delivery over time, such that when someone hears you today or takes part in your content today, they say, wow, you know what, 5 years ago they were good, but now they're even better than where they were back in 2020. So you want to embrace that kind of mindset, to evolve and to keep delivering at a higher standard each time. The second point is that AI can't shake hands. Here you're talking to networking. AI cannot go to events and meet people. It cannot shake hands with people and exchange numbers and business cards and social media handles. What makes you unique is that you can network and go out there and interact with wider audiences, gain a following, gain knowledge and exposure from those experiences, which is something that AI cannot do for you. It can come up with all the plans and all the strategies, but it cannot network. It cannot meet people face to face and gain that traction and that following from such engagements. The third aspect that I want to touch on is that you want to show your scars. And showing your scars here, I'm speaking to, you want to show your journey as a personal brand. You want to talk about moments where you failed, moments where you struggled, adversities that you had to overcome for you to build the brand and the following that you have now. It's in us sharing our stories and our weaknesses with each other that people get to find us relatable, that people get to connect with us because they can see that we are not invincible. We are not Superman. You know, we're not perfect, but we have a journey that we went through to get to where we are, and that is also motivating to your audience. So as you share your story and your struggles, people relate with you better and they want to follow you. They want to listen to you more, and that's how you gain a following as a personal brand. And then lastly, as I head towards a close, is that heroes have a heartbeat. Again, this resonates with what AI doesn't have. AI cannot relate with people's emotions. It can relate with emotions to an extent, but not to the way that you and I can relate with each other's emotions. And so that is what makes us different from AI. And that's the gap that AI cannot fill. But as a personal brand, is for you to pursue emotional connections with your audience. Personal branding is akin to marketing. Marketing rests on emotional connections with people. We buy products because they touch our emotions on some aspect. Either they match our lifestyle, our way of living, or we feel emotionally moved to buy a certain product. Similarly, with personal branding, people are drawn by their emotions. Emotions form actions. Emotions are the basis for someone acting. If you move my emotions, that's how you get me to buy a product. That's how you get me to like your page, follow your page, or subscribe to your account. Everything starts from emotions, then the action follows from there. So, in you building your brand, the only way, or the best way rather, to get people to relate and connect with you is for you to be genuine with your audience, to be authentic. And that's what will make you unique, and what will also get people to actually buy into the brand and follow the brand and ultimately believe in your personal brand. And that's what you would want to do, is to be authentic and to be genuine, and that's what will get people to believe in the brand, to see value in the brand, and to even market the brand. Because the ultimate level of success in personal branding is when people market you, people talk well to others about you, and so they essentially become your marketing agents, and that's how you then gain a following at the end of the day. So, in closing, my parting words would really be authentically you. As much as you can use AI to optimize, to plan, and to do all other great things, ultimately do not lose what makes you authentic in the midst of it all. And with that, I'll now hand back over to the host of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Paco. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are really, really grateful for everything that you have shared today. This has been a really amazing one. You've been able to balance it up for us, which is, yes, AI is good, but don't lose your authenticity. AI is good, but still learn to develop yourself so that you don't outsource your thinking, you don't outsource everything to AI. And I love the way you've been able to balance it. And there's one thing you said that really caught my attention is you can get into that rabbit hole of using AI so much that when people meet you in person, they're disappointed, like, oh, this person is not as intelligent as he writes, or it's not as intelligent as we perceive him or perceive her to be. And that's something I really caught my attention, like, oh, okay, that's interesting. We need to put some breaks into how much we use AI so that AI doesn't make us look more intelligent than we actually are, or give us a personality that is not us. So thank you so much for that. I don't know if we have any questions. If we do, please put them in the comments. But for me, my question to you would be, now that you've said this, what do you think? How can we balance it? Because we know that AI is already, and in Africa and in other parts of the world, AI is already creeping into everything that we do. So the question is, okay, as a professional, how do I balance it? How do I use AI effectively and not let AI become me?
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. So what I would say is that you want to have a personal development plan, a PDP, personal development plan. So what this does for you is that it allows you to identify your gaps, the gaps that you have in your skills and in your knowledge. Then the second layer is what avenues you have to gain those skills or to gain that knowledge. Then, thirdly, what resources you have available to do that. Then, lastly, what timelines are you committing to in order to gain those skills and that knowledge as well. And so, in you having that personal development plan in place, you hold yourself accountable. So, the challenge that we often fall into, or the trap that we often fall into rather, is that we pamper our shortfalls or our weaknesses. You know how when you have a pet, like let's say a puppy or a cat, you allow it to sit on the couch with you, and you pamper it and just you just rub its head and things like that. You are comfortable with it. You are encouraging it to sit with you on the couch. That's how you treat a pet, lovingly and allowing it to be there with you. However, we tend to treat our weaknesses and our shortfalls in the same way. We tend to pamper our weaknesses. We tend to allow them to just stay in our lives comfortably. And we even justify having that weakness. We embrace it as part of ourselves. So what someone would often do, let's say we are talking to public speaking as an example. A typical person would say, you know what, I'm not a good public speaker. That's just who I am. I've always been like this. Please ask someone else to give this talk. And that's a scenario of someone who is aware of their weakness, but they're pampering it and they're allowing it to stay in their lives as it has always been. They're not making any efforts to deal with it, but they've allowed it to just stay and be a part of their personality. So often that's where we fall short. And the solution is having that personal development plan to keep yourself accountable, to know, where do I fall short? Where is AI better than me? You know, why do I need AI? What gap am I trying to fill in my life that I'm using AI for? Is it lack of planning? Is it lack of discipline? What exactly is it that AI is doing for you that you should be able to do yourself? So if you want to use AI to fill in that gap, that's fine and that's noted, but ultimately you should want to fill in that gap with your own skill set and your own abilities as well. So I'd say that's my take on that, Emeka.
Awesome. I love the way you've been able to balance it again, once again. Yes, this, you don't want to outsource your responsibility to AI or to technology. You also do not want to pamper your weaknesses. So if it's something you need to embrace and work on, you need to be bold enough and disciplined enough to focus on it and hold it head on, and then go ahead and make that happen. And I love the way you put it, and we just want to thank you once again. But before you go, do you have any other parting word or any other thing you would like to share with us? And how can people connect with you? We know that you're doing amazing stuff with construction, with beauty, with entertainment. What projects are you working on, and how can people connect with you?
All right, so people can connect with me on typically any social media platform. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search my name on any of those platforms and you'll find my profile. I also have a website that's www.talitakumi.co.bw, talitakumi.co.bw. So that's where you can find a further appreciation of the work that I've done, some of the talks that I've given, some of the articles on personal branding that I've written as well. Then in terms of projects that I have coming up, one of the main services that we offer in our firm is that we coach people on interviews, so media interviews, job interviews as well. So our next event is next month in March, which is a job interview masterclass, which we are offering locally as a way of giving back to the community. We are hosting this at one of the local universities to try and upskill the final year students and the last year grad students as well in terms of job interview best practices. So for now, that's the most current event that we have. But on a personal level, I'm also working on a book as well, which I want to finalize by the fourth quarter of this year. The book will be about how to position oneself well in the workplace. So how to advance in your career, how to use personal branding and other items that I've touched on to progress and basically draw promotions to you in the workplace.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. That's great. How to position yourself for promotion in the workplace using personal branding and possibly using AI as well. So thank you so much, Paco. We really appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for staying up to give us this insights and share your knowledge with us on this platform. And we know that we have people tuned in from different parts of the world, not just in Africa. We're currently streaming on LinkedIn, we're streaming on YouTube as well. So wherever you're watching this from, and if you're watching the replay, please be kind enough to put in your comments. And also would like to hear from you in terms of feedback, because with feedback, we will get better. So it will be shared in the comment section on the streaming platform. So you can click on those forms and share your feedback on how we can make this conference better and all the other things we can do. So thank you so much once again, Paco. We really, really do appreciate you. Guys, that is not the end of today. We just have one more or two more messages for you. Remember that tomorrow is going to be really packed, and we also have other materials that would help you on your journey on personal branding. If you would like to get a copy of the Brand Authority Playbook, if you have decided that 2025 is your year, like Paco rightly said, you want to scale in your organization, you want to grow your business using your influence and your personal brand, then you need to grab a copy of the Brand Authority Playbook. The links will be shared in the comments, and also would also send that via the email. So if you haven't registered, please go to pbsglobal.xyz to register so that you can be part of the mailing list and get all the info. Not only that, we've also shared at the beginning, I talked about people asking questions. Emeka, your team is doing an amazing job. How did you get AI to collaborate with AI? How did you put together this amazing conference? I would like to learn. I would like to do the same thing in my country, in my department, in my region. No problem. We have put out a link there. It's a form for you to indicate your interest if you would like to learn how you can build brand authority using live events just like this. This conference came about because of COVID. If I didn't tell you, let me tell you a quick story. It came about because of COVID. We tried to gather people together, but we couldn't make that happen. And because of that, we decided that why don't we make this a virtual summit and not limit people by their time difference or location. And that's why we have it here. It's 3 hours ahead in Kenya and Uganda. It's 2 hours ahead in Botswana and in South Africa. It's 1 hour ahead in Nigeria and other parts of West Africa, and it's GMT right here where I am. So it doesn't limit anyone. You can join in from anywhere, and also you can organize such conferences or such summits yourself, and the link has been shared. So we'll be going on a short break. When we come back, we would be hearing from Kembili, who will be telling us much about what to expect tomorrow. Once again, we would like to thank all our partners and sponsors that have made this happen, all our supporters that have made this happen: Marketly Hub, Inside Business Africa, Connect Nigeria, EasyApply.ai, Talent Experts, Endorse, and the list on, and also bully recovery and awareness. I'll be talking more about that tomorrow. So we're going on the short break. When I come back, then we'll be going right into the words from Kembili. We'll be back after the short break.
The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2. The Personal Branding Summit 2025, the rise of AI 2.
Thank you, Emeka. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful and insightful evening. Before the curtains close, we want to say thank you to all our supporters: Indoors, Jembo Radio, Ezioplay AI, Connect Nigeria, Inside Business Africa, and Marketly Hub, and thank you to the speakers who gave us their time of the day. We also want to thank our audience. We hope you had a wonderful evening. However, it doesn't end here. Tomorrow is going to be an even hotter session. We'll be having Emeka Ebeniro, George Tor, and Agini Werela Ogambola take the floor in individual sessions. So, see you same time, right here, tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kembili Lethabo. Good night.